Good morning, students. Today we will discuss our first chapter in our chemistry, that is matter in our surrounding. This is our first chapter of chemistry. So, today we will discuss this chapter. And in this chapter, we have to know that what is matter, what is the composition of the matter, properties of the matter, the different states of the matter, what are the characteristics of the different states of the matter, just like solid, liquid, gas, and how we can interconvert or interconversion of the states of the matter, how is it possible by applying temperature and pressure, that is the process by changing one state to another state, that also we will study over here, and also some latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization, sublimation, evaporation process that we already discussed in that particular chapter. Okay, so first I'm coming to the introduction part of the matter, that is what is matter. Anything which occupies some space and having some mass in our universe, they all are called matter. As for example, you can say that a book in front of you, this is also a matter because book is having some mass and it can occupy some space. So of course book is a matter, and in case of pencil, pen, anything like also water can also take some space of the universe and it is having some mass, and air is also, it is also called matter, it is present in the gaseous state. So different states of matter are there and they can occupy some space and they having some mass, they all are called matter. As for example, you can say that solid matter, that chair, book, table, pen, pencil, they all are existing in the solid state at a room temperature, so that is why they are called the solid matter. In case of liquid matter, we can say, in case of liquid matter, that water, oil, if we take in a keep in a container, so it can take some space and it, of course, it is having some mass. In case of gaseous particles, just like hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, they all are called matter. Okay. So, composition of matter, now we are coming to that point. Here it is written matter is anything that can occupy some space and having some mass. It is called the matter. Matter is used to cover all the substance and the materials from which the universe is made. Of course, the universe is made, that is the materials by which the universe is made, they are also called the matter. Now the composition of the matter, that universe, they are made by some matter like air, soda water, fire, bricks, all they are matter because they are having some space and of course they are occupying some space and of course they are having some mass. So any substances, if they can occupy some space and having some mass, they all are called matter. Okay. So generally, if we go through the types of the matter, generally we go through the physical state of the matter, that is solid, liquid, and gas. The characteristics of solid, liquid, and gas that we will discuss in our next topic. So first, characteristics of the matter, first the properties of the matter, first we will see, after that one by one we will come. So properties of the matter, first property of the matter, matter is made up of some small particles, very tiny particles. Because each and everything there of the matter, they are having some small particles or they are made up of some small particles. As for example, suppose you are taking the sugar water solution. Okay, first we are taking a glass of water and after that we are adding some water into it, and after some time we can see that sugar particles can be properly mixed with the water particles. So that means they are very made up of some small particles of sugar and water both. So sugar particles, they can properly mix with water particles. So by this way we can prove that it is made up of some small particles. And also suppose in a beaker of water, if we add some amount of potassium permanganate, which is violet in color, So if you add some a very little amount of potassium permanganate into it, then we can see that color of the solution will be purple or violet. And after, if you if you add 10 ml of water only, then after too much dilution of the solution, we can get the pink color solution. So that means they are divided, they are made up of some small particles, and that is why they are spreaded over the solution. So that is why this kind of observation it is coming. So next, these particles have space between them. Just now I have given one example that sugar you are adding in the glass of water, and after some time you can see that sugar particles, they are completely dissolved in the water particles. So that indicates that water particles, they are having some space among them. That is why sugar particles can occupy that amount of space and they can be dissolved. So it will indicate that particles of having mass and the particles have space between them. Understanding? I think all of you can understand this point. Next point I am coming. The same thing, the particles are continuously moving. Of course they are continuously moving. That is why just now I have given one example. If we add potassium permanganate into a beaker of water, and after some time we will get the purple color solution of the potassium permanganate, and if we dilute the solution, if we add water into it, we will get the pink color solution. So that means the particles are continuously moving, and that is why the color becomes faint. The particles can attract to each other. Of course, the attraction it is greater in case of solid particles. That is why they are very tightly packed. We cannot break them easily. Like if we take an iron rod, we cannot break it easily. If we take any of the like bench, we cannot break it easily because they are tightly packed. Their force of attraction it is very high. But in case of liquid particles also, they are having some force of attraction, but it is lesser than that of solid. That is why liquid particles, they can flow. But solid particles, they are very rigid, they are very tightly packed, they cannot flow, and they are not compressible easily, right? And one more thing, that for gaseous particles, they also having some force of attraction among the particles. But in case of gaseous particles, the force of attraction is very low. That is why they can move here and there. And suppose if you take some amount of gaseous particles in a container, you can see that the gaseous particles, it will take the whole space of container. So that means they can move here and there, and they having very low intermolecular force of attraction. So the particles can attract each other. So this is one of the property of the matter. Now particles are continuously moving here. The motions are given, some motions are given over here, and here the particles of matter have space between them. Matter is made up of some small particles. These particles have small space between them, and the spaces are invisible, of course, in our naked eye, because in the water particles or water, if we take the some amount of the water, then we cannot see the spaces among the water molecules where the sugar particles are absorbing. But we can see that sugar particles are they are already absorbed, because we cannot see the sugar particles after some time. So that is why it will indicate it has having some small space that we cannot see by our naked eye. And the particles of the matter can get between this space without increase in volume. Of course, if we take 1 glass of water, if we add 1 spoon of sugar, then we can see sugar particles, it will just occupy the small space among the water particles. But the volume of that solution, it will not change. It will be there, it will exist, whatever volume it is having, whenever it is present in the water state, in the pure solvent water only, whenever it was present. Okay. So these 4 points we are getting. For particles of matter have space between them. Next we are coming, the particles of matter are continuously moving. Of course, already I have given that example in case of potassium permanganate. If we dilute the solution, then at the end of the experiment we can see that purple color that changes or it becomes faint and it will produce a pink color solution. So that means that they are continuously moving, and this kind of observation, that is why we can observe. So particles of matter are continuously moving, their motions we are dividing, we are giving some, they have some types of motions. Generally 3 types of motions are shown in case of particles of matter. That is, first one, translatory motion. When particles move in straight line, then changing direction without loss of energy or colliding with each other or colliding with the wall of the container, the motion is called translatory motion. So that means when the particles, they are moving through a straight line, they are not changing any direction, they are not losing any energy, they are not colliding with one another, they are not colliding with wall. So this kind of motion, it is called the translatory motion. Okay, and this kind of motion is maximum, of course, in cases of gas and liquid. Gases, in cases of, it is the maximum in case of gases because they have very low force of attraction. That is why gaseous particles, they can move here and there properly, rather than solid and liquid particles. Solid particles, they are very tightly packed, they cannot show generally these kind of motions, and liquid particles, they can flow, but translatory motion is maximum in case of gaseous particles. Okay, so now next type of motion we are coming out, that is rotational motion. Rotational means when particles move around their own axis. When particles, they rotate or they move around their own axis, the motion is called the rotational motion. And this motion is similar to the rotation of the earth around its axis. Okay, rotational motion is like the same, just like whenever earth is rotating around its own axis, and rotational motion will be, of course, it is maximum in cases of gaseous and liquid particles, because solid particles, they are very rigid, so they are not going for that kind of motion. Next we are coming, 3 types of motion I told you. One is translatory, already we have discussed. Another, next one is rotational, and the third one is vibrational. Suppose if we give some force to the particles, just like to the solid particles also, this kind of motion also it will be shown in case of solid, and it is generally, it is maximum in case of solid particles, the vibrational motion it is shown. What is the reason? Because vibrational motion, they are only vibrating, and the particles of the solids are only vibrating. If we give some force, if we give some heat to the some solid particles, as they are rigid in structure, so they will not go for the translatory motion or rotational motion, they will just be going as vibration. This kind of vibrational motive, it is called the vibrational motion, and it is maximum in case of solid. So I think all of you can understand this point. So now our next point, that is particles of matter can attract to each other. Already I have explained this point. The force of attraction, it is present in case of each and every particles of the matter. It is maximum in case of solid rather than liquid, rather than gas. In case of gaseous particles, they are having very low force of attraction, because we know if we keep some amount of the gases in a container, it will take the whole space of container, and this is the reason that gaseous particles can move here and there and it can take the whole space of the container. So the particles of matter can attract each other. By this way we can find out. And the force of some kind of matter, like the forces is small, like we can tear or as we can tear or break them, some waste paper, matchstick, we can easily break them. But in case of iron nail, in case of any metal wire, we cannot break them easily because they have very much large or strong force of attraction among the particles. So greater the force of attraction among the particle, it is required more amount of energy to break the particles. Okay, understood? So these are the properties of the particle. Now that already we have done. So next, in my next video, we will discuss the states of matter, and we will discuss the characteristics of the each state of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. So thank you. Have a nice day.